call it a comeback. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so go ahead.
Okay, then what do we call it?
No, I'm just saying, go ahead and start the show.
I'm not the host.
Kaleb called this meeting of the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo.
The Lobe.
We had kind of put this baby to bed, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, Kaleb was like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling a little adventurous. You know,
Feeling a little frisky.
Feeling a little frisky.
Yeah, you know how the three tall nerds were the NWO. I mean, I felt us three was more like the Shield.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And you called the meeting of the Shield, which you don't do like.
I have no idea what that means.
Am I the Roman Reigns of the group? Can I be the Dean Ambrose?
I'd call you more of a Dean, I'd say.
Yeah. What's his name now? Shit, what's his thing in?
John Moxley.
John Moxley. Yeah.
Yeah, WWF talk there.
Is it wrestling? Is that what it is? I haven't watched wrestling since like early 2000s. Like, I actually tried watching an episode of, is it Raw? Is Raw still going?
Oh, absolutely. Raw is still 100% going on.
I tried watching an episode of Raw, and when I first started, I was like, who is this? Who's this person? I have no idea like this. Why is that guy playing a guitar? Why are these three guys coming down with trumpets? Why I have no idea who any of these people are. So
here's the magical thing about the WWE right now is that all of it sucks. And you just have to like look for the little nuggets of things that suck so much that they're incredible.
So the bar's set low is what you're saying.
The bar is set so low.
Yeah. If I had cable, I'd be watching AEW because I watch the clips on YouTube and I'm like, God, that's a more interesting show.
Yeah, that's all the wrestling I watch nowadays. It's just AEW clips on YouTube.
Okay, so AEW is like the new WCW? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair assessment.
I mean, because it's on TNT. It has a bunch of wrestlers that have left WWE.
Some of the better wrestlers that have left WWE.
Oh, yeah. And the genius that Matt Hardy is.
My God.
Why WWE? I mean, I listened to the podcast he was on where he was saying that I tried. I just wanted to give them, all these stories and they didn't want to do nothing.
Oh my God. Have you've seen that clip of him like being introduced into AEW, right? With the drone?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I saw that.
Oh, Matt Hardy's a freaking genius with his character.
Matt Hardy is a genius. That is not something I would have ever thought of.
Oh, Matt Hardy is 100% like the amount that he is willing to dive deep into this bullshit is so commendable.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of, you could compare it to Nicolas Cage's acting, where he is just so over the top and knows how insane what he's saying is, but you'd like, oh, he believes it.
When he was like gnawing at the air while he had his hands in the air as well. Oh my God. This was a gaming podcast, but fuck it, man.
This was a gaming podcast at the beginning. I haven't even done the intro, but like I said, I thought Kaleb was going to do the intro because he's the one who called this meeting.
Welcome to Reset Gamer episode 81.
81?
81.
We did 80 episodes.
According to my records.
Wait. We did 80 episodes before?
According to my records, we left off at 80 as far as I can tell.
Okay. Now we'll fix it in post.
According to the Reset Gamer Twitter, I checked the Reset Gamer Twitter. The latest tweet for an episode was episode 80.
80. Okay.
So I could be wrong, but as far as I can tell,
you know what?
on 81.
I'll take your word. We probably did leave off on 81. So,
but if we count the episodes before the reset of Reset Gamer, we're on episode like 112.
Ah, that's right. So we're technically
for that hard reset.
Okay, so do we want to call this, if we decide to keep recording, the start of season 3?
Yeah. I like that.
I'll do seasons. I like that.
Yeah. I kind of like that. You know what I mean? We take a break.
We're the tool of gaming podcasts.
Yeah, that's what it is. You have to listen to like multiple episodes at once, overlaying each other. That way, you have to really
if you play some episodes backwards in the right order.
You have to be really willing to go deep into this podcast to get the full experience of it, basically what's going on.
I'm fully expecting every listener to start doing heroin, if I'm quite honest.
No. In my head, guys, what I picture is when will you probably upload this? A few days from now.
Oh, this is going right up. As soon as we're done recording, it's going up. It's like raw.
Okay,
just like completely.
Okay,
raw.
so let's say this goes up on Thanksgiving Day. In my mind, I like to think there's someone who wakes up one morning and just out of nowhere takes a sip of his coffee, Google's Reset Gamer, and sees something new in his newsfeed and just spits all over his keyboard.
It's like
he is so excited.
Son of a bitch.
Whoever this anonymous person is.
This person is like going to take a sip of their coffee, spit it out, say, "Son of a bitch, get me the president now."
Wait, which one? Because right now I'm really confused.
The president of gaming.
Okay.
Well, that's probably Trump.
Yeah, oh my God.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 81 of the Reset Gamer podcast, coming to you never live, always pre-recorded for your safety and your benefit. Wow, I hadn't said that in a long time.
But it came out. We got there.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like stretching after you haven't exercised in a long time. Oh man, speaking of that, since the apocalypse happened, I haven't been able to really start exercising anymore. I mean, like all of last year, right before the pandemic hit, I was very dedicated. We even stopped this podcast from going on because we're just like, nope, we have our personal goals.
Preemptive.
Exactly.
Preemptive
yes.
cutoff.
Yes.
4 years ahead
season
of time.
2 is
cut
done.
It off at the stump.
Season 2 is done. We're going to take some time to kind of focus on each other, or not each other, on ourselves. Actually, that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah, on each other.
Yeah, we can say it like that. So, but all of last year, I just kind of really dedicated to just like losing weight and, trying to get myself better physically. And I just feel like ever since the pandemic, it's just been so hard to keep that up. I've been trying, but I got like so many distractions. Well, not that so, but anyways, let me keep going with the intro. My name is Carlos, otherwise known as Hard Rocking Guy. We also have are you still our audio editor?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to call yourself that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like that. It's Kaleb. Say hi.
Hi, it's Kaleb. It's ready. Whatever you want to call me. There's so many different names.
There's Kaleb, Ready. Back in the young YouTube days of Kaleb
KJC 94, yeah. Killing Rocks.
Yeah. Oh man, you just like went way back.
I love going through those old videos because there's FTG stuff in there on the Killing Rocks channel. I love hearing like Moses and Jado just having fun on an RDR game night.
Yep, good times. Good times.
You were on the PlayStation though. You weren't playing with us.
No, unfortunately, that was one of my faults back then, is I just dumb, blind fanboy loyalty, and it's luckily I've seen the light, and I'm not like that anymore. I expanded my horizons.
Xbox is clearly superior.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yes, I've seen the green light. Phil Spencer has told me exactly what I needed to know.
Fuck yeah, he did.
Daddy Phil.
Our other co-host that's also talking right there is Justin.
Man, my dream is to light one up with old Phil Spencer one day.
We always had that joke that, one of these days he was just going to show up to your house and just be like, hey man, let's get high and play Xbox.
Well, isn't Microsoft based in Seattle? Couldn't he just be lighting one up in his office?
He could be. You know what I mean? That's green. The color, of Xbox is green. So
wake up, sheeple. Your Xbox is just getting you high.
Oh, did you guys see the video of those people who are like putting?
Oh,
yeah, blowing the vape smoke into them.
Yes.
And then Xbox had to put a tweet out, and I think their tweet actually said, "I can't believe we have to say this, but do not vape into your console."
Yeah. Hold on, I retweeted this beautiful tweet. What did it say?
Yeah. You know that somebody out there has gotten the Xbox Series X and tried to make a bong out of it or something.
I hope so. I truly hope someone is living their best life.
Like, God, do you think they could just get a 3D printer and just print one that looks like it? Why'd you have to ruin a $500 console?
It's the same thing like when you see those stupid people trying to get clout for fucking destroying a PS5 or an Xbox, something new.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about the whole, uploading it and getting views.
That's what it is. That's That's really what it is.
And also, have you seen the price of a decent bong? You're really not just you're not destroying a $500 Xbox. You're getting a slightly cheaper good bong.
Yeah. If you want a nice glass one, boy.
Okay, so we can't believe we have to say this, but please do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X, specifically the Series X. They don't give a fuck if you blow it into the Series S. So Justin, start ripping into that thing.
Well, that's the reason. Well, that's the reason why that system's cheaper. So that way, in case if you do start blowing smoke into it, you can just buy another one. I mean, those things will be dime a dozen. Give it like another year, even though they're hard to find right now.
Speaking of being suckered, I got suckered into a YouTube video as well. Did you guys see that YouTube video of the ping pong ball on the Xbox Series X?
Yes, that is what true next gen power is for. That's what it's for. I saw that video and was like, oh my God, I need to get a ping pong on my console because it'd just be cool to see it over there floating. So, and of course, if any hardcore listeners know, I live in bumfuck nowhere of a town of 1,100 people. I can't get a ping pong ball here in town. The capital of bumfuck nowhere.
So I started Googling. I was getting ready to order a 6-pack or 12-pack off Amazon. I was like, hell yeah. Fucking who wins today? Titanic wins today. And then I went back to the YouTube video, and then people are in the comments going, it's fake. You could totally tell he's got it on fishing line at this certain frame. And then I clicked it, and I was like, motherfucker.
That'd have been really nifty, though.
Yeah. See a little green ping pong ball floating on my Series X. All that horsepower just shooting out the top.
That raw, unfiltered horsepower. That apparently is being beaten by the PS5 in some games, which I don't understand because the teraflop number is bigger, people. It's bigger.
It's BS.
I don't know. You know what? I don't think there's been enough games to like really test out these consoles as it is. If you can first find one of these new consoles, and two, if you happen to be one of the few fortunate people to actually own both of them, so that way you can see it with your own eyes. Granted, Digital Foundry and a bunch of other websites have already started doing their own comparison videos. But
oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's like an appreciable difference. It's a matter of like, so in 120 hertz mode on Black Ops Cold War, the PS5 pulls ahead by 5 frames for 2 seconds here. It's like, okay, congrats.
Yeah, that sounds like a bunch of my PC gamer friends that are just like, man, if I can just push like 3 more frames out of this thing, I know I could win.
Sometimes it matters as somebody.
You see, there you go.
No. Sometimes it matters as somebody who, within the past 2 years, upgraded to a slightly higher refresh hertz monitor. If I'm stuck at 72 frames per second when I need 75 because that's my monitor's refresh rate, it feels like shit. It feels like shit.
I just think
because I don't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't have a G-Sync monitor, so like it just feels like shit.
Noob.
Frame timing and frame pacing. Look, man, I got Digital Foundry graphs right here for you. Let me slide these across the table.
That's all you need.
I tell you, with the Xbox Series X, the most I've been enjoying with mine is that my favorite game, Overwatch, I load into the map before everyone else does, which means I'm at the character select screen before everyone else is.
You gotta love SSDs, man.
I always get my freaking pick.
You gotta love SSDs. I'm telling you, that is like one of the best decisions I ever did on my gaming PC. Let's put one of those because
and on console. I mean, I have an SSD on my PC too, but it always seems like I don't know if it's because I'm running older games, but like launching, I love launching 360 games on my Series X.
Load times are like almost non-existent.
The game barely, the game puts up their little tip that's supposed to sit there. Oh, here's a tip for the game while we're loading. By the time that bubbles up, it's gone. It's loaded in. That's the best thing. It's just, less load times, it's more time playing the actual game. Yeah. Oh, it's just been fun just launching the old stuff and seeing how well it plays.
That's how I've been feeling since like 2012, baby. 7,200 RPM drive when y'all were using laptop drives. Welcome to the next gen.
Pretty much.
Hey, dude, I built my, I guess we haven't talked in a while. I actually built my own rig. I still prefer console.
Damn. Okay.
I still do. I'll have to get a picture of it. I built a nice big fucking computer.
Everybody's got the preference, man. I mean, You know.
Yeah, it is. It's just I just prefer the console. I prefer the layout. I hate clicking on a Steam game and it crashes 5 seconds in because then I got to dig up.
Don't you talk bad about Steam? Don't you talk bad about Steam? Don't you put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby?
There's a lot of Steam games that work 100% fine, but that's just the suck part. When I do have time to play, I just want to play.
I know.
I don't want to play and fix.
It's the plug and play aspect of consoles is so great because you can you stick the disc in or you download the game from the store and it's pretty much always like ready to go. Like pick up the controller, you're ready to go. So yeah, I can totally understand that. My whole thing is that I just think it's funny because I see people on Twitter, I see people, on social media, and they're over here just like, oh my God, 60 frames a second. This is so great. Oh my God, the ray tracing. Oh my God, look at this. The games run so smooth now and like that. And I'm just like, a lot of PC gamers been telling you people. They had been trying to tell you people that was one of the advantages of it, and now you can really see a lot of people who have never experienced anything like that.
Oh yeah, people that grew up on like the 360 into the Xbox One generation,
right?
That Halo was 30 frames per second until Halo 5. Like it was 30 frames. Call of Duty was the only real 60 frames per second shooter out there, and now we're gonna have a whole, hopefully. With at least the way that Call of Duty is launching this year, with 120 hertz support, hopefully that means games like Battlefield that ran at 60 FPS last generation will run at 120 hertz on these consoles. If Battlefield ever comes out again, we'll see about that. And what other new shooter, like if Ghost Runner comes to consoles, is Ghost Runner on consoles?
I believe so, yeah. That's a great game.
I'd love to see.
That's a great game.
I'd love to see it run at 60 plus on a console. That game looks gorgeous. Like put ray tracing in on the console version and run it at 60 at like 1440p, and boom, there you go. Who needs 4K? Like there's going to be a generational shift where there were people that like you and Justin that grew up with the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo that basically 90% of your games ran at 60 FPS. Like there were very few sprite-based games that ran at a total refresh rate of 30. Like some things would render on and off frames, but it was running at 60. Then you got into the 360 generation where things just, I don't know what happened. Like I remember playing Sly Cooper and all PS2 generation was full of 60 FPS. I don't know. I can go on this for the next 5 hours.
These new consoles out now are just being able to take advantage of all the stuff that, that a lot of PC gamers were able to take advantage of, and now they're able to experience a lot of the benefits of new gaming. And this is kind of like the way the game should be running in the first place. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
With better resolution, better frame rate. With all the bells and whistles going on. Even though some games haven't fully taken advantage of it yet, but. It's a great time to have consoles because this is probably the closest they've ever been to gaming PCs in terms of like specs and the way that they play.
Oh yeah, and down to like the way that not the operating systems, but the underlying game systems work between the consoles and the PCs.
Right.
Like I guess it was something they were working towards the last time.
Right.
But they seem to have really gotten there this time around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And it's great seeing everybody load up games from the past generation and be able to run them basically the way that they're supposed to be ran. Being able to run smoothly, like I said, but better frame rate, better resolution, whatnot. So,
what was the game? The Order 1886, where they're like, not only are we running with cinematic bars on the top and the bottom to cut out some resolution to save horsepower, we're also running at a cinematic 24 frames per second.
Oh yeah, I remember that. God, I bought that game.
I have that game. Yeah, I still have it in shrink wrap in my cabinet.
Dude, it'll take you like 2 hours to finish it. You might as well just do it right now.
Wasn't it the same studio that made God of War? Wasn't that Sony Santa Monica?
No, that was Ready at Dawn that made the Order 1888. Yes, they made they made 2 of the PSP God of War games.
Okay, I was like, I have to be crazy.
Those were actually really good. It was very impressive to see what they were able to do with the PSP, especially the second one, which I think was Chains of Olympus. That is actually on its own a great God of War game. If that's the second one, I think that's the second one. But anyways, yes.
I'm trying to remember because I did play the demos of the PSP games. I never had the money to buy the actual games, but they played really well, like surprisingly well for being on such a tiny little thing.
Are you talking about GOD?
We talking about that GOD?
So we came together because, we decided to do a sort of end of the generation podcast. We wanted to be able to talk about, once again, with these new systems coming out, the Xbox Series X and S and the PS5 being released now, we wanted to come back and we wanted to talk about, the Xbox One, the PS4.
The PS Quattro, baby.
We can both say the Wii U.
Yeah.
Right? We can say that, right? Wii U.
It's technically part of the generation.
Yeah, because Nintendo kind of plays by their own rules. So they kind of released it at an odd time, right?
Nintendo's that kid in the hall smoking cigarettes backwards.
Really? That's what you think of Nintendo?
Like they're lighting the filter.
We just wanted to get together, talk about the past generation that just happened. And, we just wanted to share some of the things, some of our opinions, some of the memories that we had about it. So let's, we started thinking about certain, questions and certain things that we wanted to talk about. So, we wanted to go and, let me just go and ask this one like that. For both you, for Kaleb and Justin, what ended up being your preferred platform for the past generation?
I'm going to say PC.
I'm going to say Xbox One.
Okay, reasons?
So I started off around 2011 I got a gaming PC, but I didn't have a super strong gaming PC. And there were still console exclusives coming out that I really wanted to play, but they were mostly Microsoft exclusives like Halo and Forza. And we've kind of seen a growth of the PC market over the past 2 to 3 years, where you don't really have to have a console to play the console exclusive games unless they're Sony or Nintendo. I know that's a weird way to phrase it, but anything that's coming out from the Microsoft camp, you're going to be able to play on PC, and those are the games that I'm relatively interested in. And I'm typically, with the exception of this start of this new generation, I'm always going to have more powerful PC than there is going to be hardware in the consoles. So I'd prefer to play games with a mouse and keyboard at a higher refresh rate, I guess, like maybe 144 hertz in the future when I upgrade my setup. And I don't know, there's a lot of future proofing behind the PC platform. Like there are games that I have bought that came out in 1994 that still work wonderfully, and there are games that I've bought that came out in 2004 that work wonderfully. They're just a litany of things that you can do on PC, down to the indie marketplaces and the reliability of Steam. I know we were just having a discussion about games on Steam not being particularly reliable, but Steam itself is very reliable. It's a good store to use, and it's very trustworthy. Never had an issue. So I don't know. I prefer the more open, user-centric features of the PC, like the level of customization that you get that you can't really get on a console, and installability that you'd have to access dev mode for on a console. I just appreciate having all that out of the box and being able to upgrade it as I see fit, not having to wait for a half step 3 years down the line if I wanted to, say, upgrade the amount of RAM in the system,
Right, exactly. Like that. Justin?
I like Phil Spencer.
That's the best answer you could have given right there.
I definitely bought the Xbox One on recommendation of a friend of ours, old Jake. And apparently he told me you need to buy it because he says Titanfall. That's what you need to buy it for. So I bought it, and that was basically my Titanfall machine. I kept playing on PS4 because I was just a PS3 guy, but the more and more after Phil took the helm of the Xbox and everything, he kept preaching. I was just like, okay, well, I know a lot of this Sony ain't gonna fucking do, because partly because their back end of their store and everything it just ain't gonna freaking work. So I started buying more and more games over there, especially 2-3 years ago when Phil was like, guess what? Much like PC, you buy your games here, you're going to freaking keep them. Well, Sony wasn't saying a damn thing about that.
They believe in generations.
Yeah, generations. So that's when I really started sticking over there. I was like, okay, well, if all my games are going to stay, then this is where I'm going to stay. And then the only thing that was really sucky was I was losing my PlayStation friends, and my few PlayStation friends I have were huge COD players. And so I was still buying COD on there for the rarity, maybe once a month playing with them. And then eventually when Sony got off their high horse and allowed that, there was really not much more reason to turn on my PlayStation except to do PSVR, which I thought PSVR is very fun. I bought a bunch of games for it. But yeah, PlayStation was purely my VR machine, and then Xbox were a game primarily. And then Xbox had started that Xbox Rewards program, which if you're not doing it, you're a freaking idiot.
They give you Bing reward points, right?
Yeah, Bing reward points. Me and Jake were actually talking to Carlos about this like a month ago. Like I had checked, like this year alone, I had earned $260.
What?
And you could redeem that for Xbox store points. You could redeem it for Microsoft gift cards, where you could actually buy laptops and stuff with that
crazy.
money. Oh yeah, it's insane. Whoever's not doing it, you're insane.
I've heard of this, but I've never once thought of touching that system because it's tied to Bing. Why the fuck would I? Why would I touch it? But
you know what you do is that what I did was you get 150 points a day for Bing searches. So the easiest way to do that is to launch, because you got to do the freaking Edge browser too. You launch the Edge browser, create a folder with 40 favorites in it, and then once a day launch your Edge browser and then tell it to launch those 40 favorites. Boom, done. Within
that's
40
crazy.
seconds.
All right.
Yeah, that's why I stick over there. Basically, I've like Call of Duty. I paid nothing for it because of my Bing searches. That's
the right price for Call of Duty.
The whole rewards thing. Well, and you get the Bing rewards. You get 50 points a day for an achievement, and then they give you tasks and games and Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So you do those tasks, you also get those reward points, which you can turn right into freaking cash. So,
and you're playing new games that you might have never tried before.
Yeah. There's actually been a couple games I did actually buy because the task took me far enough in the game where I was like, wow, this ain't bad. And I bought it.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, that's where I've been.
Shit.
So,
I never considered that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is totally worth it. Well, even you being on PC, dude, you could redeem that for Microsoft Store credit. And
give me my Forza expansions.
Oh, and the Xbox Elite controller. I can't go back. That controller is so damn good. I bought an adapter off Amazon to latch onto it so I could use it on my PS4. I cannot game with any other controller than an Elite now. I am selfish.
I've heard that DualSense is pretty hot.
I don't have a PS5, so I can't tell you about it. I don't know if anyone else has one.
Oh, Carlos is quiet.
Carlos?
No. Do you guys remember when the Xbox One first was unveiled?
Oh, yeah.
May 21st.
Like, this is the one entertainment center that you need.
May 21st, 2013.
Ryan Davis was still alive. It was a great time.
What was the guy's name that was head of Xbox at the time?
Don Matrick?
Don Matrick. That's right. That's
the dude that came out looking all frazzled as shit, right? And it was like, we have the one for you. Like just total soft
TV.
Grandpa selling.
It's all about TV. Oh man, that was just a terrible presentation, a terrible way to introduce the Xbox. Yeah, that was... I still say to this day that Phil Spencer was one of the best decisions that Microsoft ever did, putting him in control of Xbox. Because I really feel like he really does listen to a lot of what the community says. Constructive criticism, basically, of what the community says would be beneficial for Xbox. Because, a lot of people were, talking about backwards compatibility, and they went out and they actually put backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. They've gone and they've done, multiple things that they've tried, that they've listened to the community. And even to this day, I mean, if you go to his Twitter feed every once in a while, somebody will say, hey, Phil, we think you guys should do this. This might be beneficial for the Xbox. And every once in a while, he'll just be like, that's interesting. I'll pass it along to the team.
Oh, yeah. No, he's been probably the most affable and like relatable gaming CEO we've seen in a long time. Since probably Iwata.
Yeah. Oh, Iwata. Yeah. Great.
I mean, well, especially with him releasing like their games. I mean, before you could only get them on Xbox or the Microsoft Store, and now they're putting it out on Steam. Like they just want the games to be able to be.
They just want them out there. They want to be able to have more people playing.
Well, it's good for any game, keeping it alive.
But the reason I brought up the initial reveal of the Xbox was because back then they got so much flack about always being online, about always being connected to the internet. That's kind of the way the consoles are now, aren't they?
They have a digital-only console.
Exactly.
Well, not only that, how many of these games require
a day one patch?
All they got to do is slap on that box, requires internet connection, and you're fucked. So we're right back where we were, because there's so many even single-player games that are like, God, I forget which game I was playing this generation. There was one that it was having online problems. Well, I was playing the single player. So you're running around and then all of a sudden the game would freeze and go, I think it was Hitman.
Hitman sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah, it would lose connection and then to keep telling me lost connection, we can't upload your high score or whatever. I was like, well, that's fine. I just want to play the damn game. But yeah, that stuff. It seems a problem anyway. Just with a constant, high scores, and they just want that persistent online game for anything.
Right.
They've slowly. We are the frog in the boiling pot. They slowly built us up into this ecosystem where we're always online, and we just didn't even think about it.
I just think about it back then because, like I said, everybody, including me, I went back and I listened to some of the, past recent gamer episodes, and I remember giving them a lot of flack about like, oh, that's so stupid. You can't have consoles online all the time, blah, blah. And like, it's almost 10 years later, and that's kind of the way most of these consoles have to be, is online.
That's why even PC is now for some games. I remember last year I was playing through the Modern Warfare single player, and at like 6:30 in the morning, after my long ass shift at FedEx, where all I wanted to do was get through a couple levels of Modern Warfare and go to bed, the fucking BattleNet servers went down for some unknown godforsaken reason. They went down for a half hour. Just couldn't play Modern Warfare. Period. Could not even launch it.
What happens when Steam goes down?
I can at least play the games.
Yeah, it's funny when I lose internet at the house, it doesn't even cross my mind to turn my Xbox on, because I'm kind of like, well, nothing will work. Even though whatever Xbox I have set as my home console should launch any game as long as there's not, any online to it. But yeah, but that's just funny in my head. If there's no internet, it doesn't even cross my mind to turn my Xbox on.
Yeah, because there's basically no point. Everything's a live service game that's on consoles.
Especially when, I'm in a very big multiplayer kick right now. So all the games that I play right now are online. Apex, Halo, a couple of other
how many
games.
hours do you have in Apex? You want to share that with the people?
I got like probably over 1,000 hours on PlayStation 4 alone. It's crazy.
Oh.
Shame.
Oh. Shame. No, man. I got 40-something hours in that game in the first 2 months, and I was like, I'm set.
The worst part about it, and I didn't even tell you guys this, was just the amount of microtransactions that I've got on that thing and how many battle passes I've already bought on that. I thought I'd spend a lot of money on Team Fortress 2 for hats.
Nah, man. Apex Legends is so expensive.
Okay. The only thing I've really bought on Apex was just battle passes, really, because I don't actually buy any of the cosmetics. Those cosmetics are great, but are they $20, $25, $30 great? No.
Hell no.
Honestly, I've openly said that I love Respawn. I love their games. Obviously, I love Titanfall, the Titanfall series. I love Apex, but my God, I'm like, no, I'm not paying that much for some of those skins. So it's like, there's no way I'm paying that much. But anyways, that's a completely different conversation. So Kaleb says PC. That was his preferred platform.
Absolutely.
Justin says Xbox.
What do you say, Carlos?
I'm actually gonna go PC first, because I was a very big, PC person. Once, Kaleb kind of touched on most of the points about the advantages of PC, being able to, being so open, not just that, being able to play some of the games that are just on PC,
Oh, absolutely. For the time where Minecraft was only on PC, that was the killer app, baby.
Yeah. And there are still games that I love right now. What's the new one everybody's playing? I can never say the name correctly.
Oh.
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia. That's right. I'm
like Fall Guys, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, the ghost hunting game.
Fazbear Freddy.
Oh man, don't even start me on that one.
That shit's on Game Pass.
It is. Yes, it is. But
it is.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is. It's just about on everything nowadays, right?
All 4 of them are on Game Pass.
Wow.
I think.
So yeah, I got to go PC first. Between the consoles, I'm probably gonna pick. Not probably. I am gonna pick Xbox because I really preferred Xbox. I like their message on the games, on their services, the way they're doing it. I mean, Game Pass is it's hard to pass it up, man. You got to have Game Pass with your Xbox. That's just, it's a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer to just get Xbox Game Pass.
Especially if you have both a PC and an Xbox and you're just paying an extra $5 a month.
People would argue at that point, why even have the Xbox, which I can totally understand. But I do have friends that just play on the Xbox, which is why I'd like to have it. So, but yeah, I got to go PC first and then probably Xbox between the consoles. It's just preference. I like that Halo Warzone for some odd reason,
And that's never coming to PC, apparently.
They said it, right? They openly said it, that Halo 5 was not.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we're just not putting Halo 5 on PC.
We're not
Too
putting
much
it on
work.
the Master Chief Collection next.
Yeah, and they also said we're never putting Halo 5 in the Master Chief Collection. So
all right. So the next question: what didn't we like about this generation? What did you not like about this past generation that came up? Justin, go ahead.
What I didn't like. Okay, well, I didn't like Kinect.
They axed that shit.
Yeah, which once Phil took the helm, he was just like, "Yeah, that thing out of the
Cutting
box."
the cord on that.
Yeah, God, I'm trying to think of what I really hated about this generation. I hated the cross platform play battle.
That was so stupid.
I loved what Fortnite did, because I think if Fortnite hadn't done what it had done, what the dominoes that followed after, I don't think would ever happened.
That was so great. The like 4 hours where they were like, "Oopsie, we flipped the switch."
Yeah.
Someone made an oopsie.
Yeah, that is the only good thing I can say about Fortnite, because I don't like that game. And then my nephew loves the game, and he hates that I call it Ramp Night, because that's all he builds. It's just ramps.
Oh, that's all the kids build, man.
Yeah. So I just call it Ramp Night when he's there.
That game is something else.
Yeah, you want to talk about cool skins, though. I see the skins, they're advertised everywhere, and I'm like, cool, I'd like to see that in Overwatch.
Yeah, what is it? What do they got? Captain America, Black Panther, Iron Man.
They got all the cool Marvel stuff. Yeah. So yeah, cross-platform battle and Fortnite I did not like from this generation.
Really?
Just straight up calling out Fortnite.
Wow.
They did the right. They did the, like I said, their move to that started the cross-platform play. I very much support it.
Really? Wow, that's actually very surprising. I'll actually say it because I actually like the cross-platform stuff. I thought it was a really good thing.
Oh no, I do like the cross-platform. I don't like Fortnite, but I like that Fortnite.
Okay. Priorities. Get them good.
Yeah.
Got to get them straight.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Fortnite, they started this whole chain where it's like, it made the gamers realize, holy fuck, is this possible?
It's possible, baby.
Yeah, I don't think console players. I don't even think I knew. I figured just whatever language they talk to through the internet, I just figured was so different, but apparently not. So, because they did it, and what they turned it on for a little bit, and then they fought to get it right.
Yeah, so they turned it on by accident. For like a couple hours, maybe 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. And they were like, oh, well, it's just a simple switch that we accidentally hit. So they were basically telling everybody like, yeah, it's literally just a simple switch in our back end that we just have to be able to let all these servers talk to each other. So they kind of opened up the floodgates for all the gamers to be like, what do you mean it's that simple?
Didn't Rocket League do that also?
Just with PC and PS4.
Oh, okay.
Rocket League's. I believe Rocket League was one that actually tweeted out, like, listen, if Sony gave us permission, we could turn it on tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I think they were
before they turned on the full crossplay. They were definitely getting out there and saying, like, it's just as easy to go between an Xbox and a PS4 and a Switch as it is between the PS4 and the PC. We don't know why they don't let us do this, but as soon as they let us do it, we will.
Well, yeah, bigger player base means, your game doesn't have to die so soon on one platform.
And the sooner your game doesn't die on a platform, the sooner people will spend money on it. It's
you
a
hear
weird
this, Blizzard. Why isn't there crossplay in Overwatch?
I'm sorry, I spent money on Apex. Is that what you want me to say? That's what you want me to say, right?
No, because I also bought a battle pass before I pieced out. I bought that first really shitty one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I was even into the game at that time, and I was like, no, these skins suck.
That first battle pass for Apex was just so bad. Yeah, I remember the skins, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, did somebody just scan Cheetos and just put that on the gun? I was like, oh my God, these skins are so terrible. That was absolutely terrible.
Well, the way I was looking at it was like, okay, I got 40 hours in this game. I love Respawn. I haven't spent a single dime. I'll throw them $15 or whatever it is. Not that bad. I'm not working right now, but it's only $15.
You fool.
Turns out if you're not working, hot tip, don't buy battle passes.
$15 is a lot of money when you're not working.
Yep. Don't buy battle passes if you're unemployed.
And then you're forced to play it on top. If you're unemployed, you got all the time to get that battle pass to the next level.
But I was also trying to run a YouTube career at the same time, so I didn't have time.
Stream playing Apex Legends.
Oh, dude, I tried streaming Apex, and that's such a miserable experience.
So let me ask the YouTube star, Kaleb, what did you not like about this generation?
I think one of the things that I dislike the most about this generation that people haven't really talked about, and despite the fact that there have been clubs added to the consoles, there have been these group chats and party chats have evolved, and Discord is bigger than ever. But within the console ecosystem itself, and especially on PC, don't even get me started on PC, but it's even just between people playing on the same console, gamers have become so hostile over this past generation that the few people left using microphones are just the worst. And I don't know what happened over this past generation. Like, it's always been pretty rough, but at least there was always enough people using their microphone that somebody would tell that asshole to shut up, and you could have an enjoyable conversation with 2 or 3 people in your 8-person free-for-all lobby. Now it's just the most vitriolic shit I've ever seen in my life.
So toxic sometimes.
So toxic. And like the probably 20 hours or so of Modern Warfare that I ended up playing between Warzone and Modern Warfare stuff, maybe 30 hours. I have seen so much offensive. Like, I am not the kind of person to be like, I'm triggered. But I have seen so much offensive language that just boggles my mind, that I don't know how
Kaleb,
console manufacturers, Blizzard, Steam is just not cracking down on this stuff better. This is like the thing I dislike the most about this generation is the most hands-off approach that it seems like a lot of moderation tools have become.
Right.
There used to be the reputation system with an Xbox 360, and that's something I had totally forgotten about. And then I bought a 360 like 2 months ago to play Rock Band, and I looked at my profile and I was like, what is this player reputation? And it showed me, like, from my time back when I was playing Call of Duty when I was a younger kid, 67% or so of people had said that they disliked playing with me, of the people that rated me, because of my language and this and that and so forth. And that could teach me to be a better person. Nowadays, that kind of stuff is so hidden that until you're banned, you don't understand what the fuck you're doing wrong. I don't know. That's the thing I dislike the most about this generation. It's become so accessible and so easy to play games that people have, I don't know, that online communities have somewhat faltered within games themselves, and it's kind of hard to make friends within games. And it's easier to make friends outside of games, which is both a good and a bad thing. But like I remember making friends in Halo 3 and like after a match just being like, hey, good game, guys, you want to go play some private matches? And 2 or 3 people would be like, yeah, sure, let's go play some private matches. Nowadays you ask people to go play a private match, they'll tell you to fuck off. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what happened between the end of the 360 generation and the end of this generation. Like I don't know if it's because there weren't enough microphones packed in with the consoles, but it's just been a really weird change.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very toxic thing nowadays. I mean, you would think that 9-year-olds wouldn't know some of the stuff that they say online, but
the best part is because there's text chat in Call of Duty on the PC or on the consoles as well, so they can see all the PC text chat. And every game when I would type GLHF for good luck, have fun, at least 2 people. Fuck does that mean? The fuck is this PC person trying to say to me? I'm like, all right, guys, let's calm it down.
What I didn't like about this generation.
What didn't you like?
Well, well, I mean, you kind of touched on it already. I mean, it's just, gaming has just become in a way so toxic nowadays that you can't really tell people, just, hey, GG, good game. And I've done it. I've played games where I've lost. We've gotten our asses handed to us and, it's been a totally unfair match. But at the end of the thing, I'm just like, well, GG. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, this game isn't balanced or this, the tie just went your way or you guys were just better players or anything like that, But, you constantly have people that are saying offensive things and rude things, stuff that normally would have gotten you banned, and it's just like it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I think part of it is just people are able to say what they want behind a TV computer screen without fear of repercussion, for the most part.
Absolutely.
So it's just enabled everybody to just say whatever they want openly and just be like they're not going to do anything about it, so I'm going to call them whatever anything I want. Tough shit for them. So it's just. I just really wish that, and it's a long shot because people do say that gaming is for like younger people, which I mean you could kind of say that in a way, but I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old and still playing video games. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I know that everybody's not going to be mature on the when playing online games. So
no, absolutely not.
And I have had people who are close to my age still call me, the F word and other stuff like that on an open mic just because, I killed them in game or something happened that they died in game. So, but whatever. I mean, that's just the nature of people online. I think that's more the nature of just people, that they're just going to be open about it and one like that. They're just going to say whatever they want to say openly. So, but
gaming has become very angry.
It's become very, in a way it has. It's become very toxic. I mean, I used to think it was just like, well, the console wars, fanboyism, fanboys will say this and they'll insult whatever it is like that. Nowadays, it's like people just insulting other people within their, within their ego.
Their ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. So, I can jump on a game on PlayStation and I hear, F this, you F and the blah, 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 this other stuff and everything like that. I had somebody who called me, he turned his mic on at the beginning of a match when I was playing Call of Duty. And he's all like, come on, bitches, we're going to fucking win. You this and this and blah, blah. Just proceeded to call us that and then go, 2-18.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I guess it's, it's more or less like what you said. It's just, gaming in a way has become very toxic. And I just wish it wouldn't be like that. I mean, some people take it as a competition. You have to be able to just tell the other person sometimes if you lose, like, well, good game. And it's just a game. It's just a game. That's it. It's not going to affect your credit score. It's not going to affect you personally or anything like that. It's just a game. You do it to relax. You do it to have fun. You do it to enjoy yourself. You don't have to take it so seriously to the point where you tell somebody something offensive or anything like that. But once again, people are going to do whatever they want on the internet.
That did remind me of something else I should mention.
Go ahead.
That has become a plague on PC is hackers. It's always been a problem.
That's always been a
past
problem. Yeah,
generation.
That's always been.
It has gotten so much worse. It has gotten so much fucking worse. I don't know if just all the people learning coding language have become 10,000 times smarter and they're like 12 years old so they can stay up all night coding these aimbots. But this is like the reason I stopped playing Apex Legends was 1, getting matched up with shitty teammates that were assholes, and 2, running into hackers every 5th game.
That's the reason why I stopped playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Oh.
Because I was just like, I would land And before I know it, I'm getting sniped by somebody like way off in the distance. And I'm just like, I have no idea who shot me, but yeah.
It's always the best in Warzone when you start dropping in with your parachute and some dude with a Car 98 just clinks off your armor from a good 350 yards away. It's like, how the fuck?
While shooting straight up in the air, somehow the bullets are still hitting you. All right, let's move on to the next question. Justin, what did you like about this past generation of gaming?
Cross-platform support.
Nice.
I didn't like shit. I don't know. This generation kind of sucks.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic. I totally love the cross-platform thing.
Yeah. It's kind of the same stuff I mentioned before. It's just what I liked about the Xbox, the rewards program, the cross-platform stuff. Sony kind of relaxing a little bit, like they were so. I think they were so afraid they were going to start losing players if the players could play, together on different consoles. Yeah, I ain't got much more to say. I think kind of heard what all I liked.
That's fine. That's fair. I like that. Caleb, what did you like?
I like the innovation of the free-to-play genre. Like a lot. Like a lot. I think we've seen a real innovation in the space from where in the past free-to-play, and granted, it still is this, but free-to-play used to be just gacha and really, 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 really grindy games. And now we have situations where you have stuff like Genshin, which is a gacha, but it's a fully featured, like it's a game-ass game. It's not just you pull cards and you get a character. Like, as far as I know, it's a game-ass game.
You're talking about
Genshin Impact.
Breath of the Waifu.
Yeah, Breath of the Waifu.
Okay, go ahead.
And then you've got stuff like Destiny 2 that once they broke free of Activision, you have this. Granted, they just nuked half of the content in the game, so this doesn't really apply anymore. But you had this absolutely huge, expansive amount of content that you could play absolutely for free, and then they would give you a base level battle pass that would give you not really like paid content, but a taste of the paid content, and it was nice. You could play through Destiny 2 seasons and not pay without feeling like you were really missing out on much. And then if you did want to pay, you were getting not a ton, but you were getting a fair amount of stuff. You were getting things to make your life easier. It's what free-to-play games used to be, where you pay for something, it just made your life easier. It didn't restrict you from playing something. It didn't, or I guess not restrict you from playing something because there's DLC in Destiny, but restrict you time-wise, where they say, okay, you have to come back in 15 hours to do this. In Destiny 2, you're free to do everything whenever, as long as you have access to the content. There is no time gating to anything, which is wonderful. Same thing with Hearthstone. Same thing with, like I said, Genshin Impact. It's crazy. And then you have some bad actors in the space, like Hearthstone itself just recently implemented a battle pass that, man, it's really shitty. It is really bad. But overall, the free-to-play genre has been moving in such a fashion that's moving towards a much more consumer-friendly approach of like buy cosmetics or don't have these time gates up. That was the thing that really kicked free to play games in the ass for me in the past, was having time gates. Because like if I'm enjoying a game, I want to play the game. I don't want to have to pay you $5 to play the game every time I want to play the game. That's a problem. Eventually you're paying $150 a month to play this game. Like just having access to this dirge of absolutely sometimes insanely comical like Scram. I don't know if you've ever played Scram, but Scram is this fucking weird free game on Steam that I don't think has any microtransactions, and it is just the weirdest thing in the world. Then you have MTG Arena. Like Magic is typically a $1,000 game if you want to play at a tournament level, but in MTG Arena it can cost you $50 at the most for getting together enough cards to put together a deck. It's crazy. Video games are like taking these money sink hobbies and turning them into free-to-play hobbies, and I appreciate it.
I used to play like a lot of shooters, a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Battlefield, a lot of stuff like that. I'm glad that the developers finally realized, like, oh, we're gonna stop doing map packs because it's not wise to splinter our player base. So Absolutely. They implemented battle passes. So now just about everybody gets new maps. Everybody gets new content. And the best way for you to support them is to buy the battle pass.
God bless Fortnite.
No, I'm not going to go that far. You want to anger Justin too. So.
No, Overwatch is doing that too, where all the maps are always free, all the new characters are free.
Just
unlike
about
Apex. Apex charges for them. It says say that. But
no, Apex doesn't charge.
They don't charge for the new characters?
You can buy
them. No, you
don't have to.
Yeah, you can buy them with real money or you can buy them with in-game currency.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. No, I have never spent any actual money on any of the new characters. The only thing I spent money on Apex was the battle pass, and I think I may have bought maybe just like 1 or 2 skin packs or something like that. But that's about it.
Let's be real. You bought that Icy Pathfinder skin.
I did. No, I did. I have that skin to tell you the truth, but no,
it's a pretty hot skin. But I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I that's what I liked about it. About a lot of the games coming out this generation. Plus, the crossplay thing that I just love so much because I really think that everybody should be playing together regardless of what they play on. As much as I give Fortnite a bunch of guff, it is great that I can put Fortnite on a tablet, my PlayStation, my Xbox, my Switch. And if we all pick something different, we can all still play together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're not being limited by the system or the console or anything that we're choosing. We're just being able to play the same game if we want to. And that, I think, is like one of the best things. Because I'm very much somebody who believes like we should all be playing together, regardless of what we're playing on. If I want to play on a PC because I enjoy the mouse and keyboard controls, more than Justin enjoys being able to just, pick up the controller,
start up his console
and just pick up the controller and play. I might be able to put some, something in my game, some mod or something like that. Not that it's going to give me an advantage, gameplay wise or anything like that, but maybe I can get the frames running a little bit smoother than I could on a console. Or maybe I can do it, some way like that. The point is that I just enjoy the fact that we're able to all starting to play together. So
absolutely. That was the best thing about like Warzone going free to play is being able to play with my manager because he had a PlayStation and being like, yeah, man, fuck it. We'll play cross-play, free-to-play Warzone, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's great that all the companies are just starting to be like, yeah, let's just all play together, which is kind of a little bit of the issue that I had with Sony this generation was the fact that they were dragging their feet to not really implement a lot of that on a lot of their games. They were just like, no, you're just going to play with PlayStation people. And I really didn't like that. Like I really didn't.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was a fan.
Yeah.
That's why they stopped.
Yeah. That's why they eventually just, they allowed it. So, but that's my thing. But Justin, let me know, what do you think is one of the best or worst trends in this past generation?
Worst trends. Battle passes.
Is that the best trend or is that the worst trend?
I think it can be argued for both, actually.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you've seen you guys talking Apex. I am a big fan of the Avengers game. I bought that I had a blast with it.
Oh no!
I think it's a really fun beat 'em up.
Oh
but
no!
The battle pass on that game is complete garbage. The skins are complete garbage.
Isn't it a different battle pass for each character?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Isn't each one $15? Or something like that.
When you buy the game, you get each battle pass for each character for free. That's included.
Okay.
So like a bishop who comes out, I think in a couple of weeks, she'll have her own battle pass. But it's not like you had to buy the game and then buy, 6 Avengers you had. Yeah.
So do they each have 100 level battle pass?
I think it's 50.
Wow.
Okay. And it's 50 and they're daily tasks. So once you do the daily tasks, you can't advance that battle pass anymore until you wait 24 hours.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
That's the problem with Hearthstone's battle pass. Disgusting. Get that shit out of my face.
But the best thing of it all is that the skins you get for beating the game are better than any in the battle pass.
Hell yeah.
So it doesn't even, the battle pass to me doesn't even matter because after you beat the game, all your Avengers get really awesome skins, and that's what I use. So, I would say battle passes I think could be swayed either way depending on whose game, because it's so easy to do them right and so easy to do them freaking wrong.
Wow. And I thought like grinding like 3 of my characters at the same time on Destiny 2 was bad.
You had 3 characters? What the hell were you doing?
I had 1 point, yes. I had 1 point and had 3 characters. So you got to have one for every class.
I was grinding out 1 character every day for like a month straight, and I put in 120 hours. What were you doing?
That's why I quit Destiny 2.
Why'd you quit Destiny 2?
The grind, man, the grind.
I just ran out of things I wanted to do.
Trust me, when I first started that, I had a hunter, I had a warlock, and I had a
Titan.
Yeah, it is Titan, right? Yeah, it's a Titan. Yeah, it's a Titan. Yes, I tried to level all 3 of them up because I wanted to have one for each class. I had a lot more free time back then. Free time that I don't have anymore. So, yeah, I just quit Destiny 2 because I was just like, I can't do this grind anymore.
I think I should throw in there loot boxes was the big discussion this generation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just completely gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Battle Pass is pretty much what replaced it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, absolutely.
I think because they made a big fuss about like if somebody underage buys one, it's technically gambling.
Oh, it's 100% gambling.
Yeah.
Well, was it EA that called them surprise mechanics?
Yeah. Surprise mechanics.
Yeah. So, Caleb, what's your best and worst trend? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Now they're all coming to mind.
No, go ahead.
How about this pre-ordered so you can play the game 48 hours early bullshit?
Spend $100 so you can play it early.
Don't ask me why I bought Gears. What was it, Gears 4?
5?
Both of them. Don't ask me why I bought both of them early.
I won't ask because, quite frankly, it's going to be a disgusting answer.
No. Okay. It was for Gears 4. I did buy the more expensive one because I wanted to play it early. I did. Which ultimately didn't mean squat because I only played that game, I think, for like the next 2 months, and then I haven't played it anymore.
$100 well spent.
Shut up.
I did buy the expensive version of the Avengers and was actually
at least that way you got a cool Captain America statue of it. I mean, I would want that Captain America.
No. I bought the digital version because all that stuff in the box. I wasn't interested in any of it.
Oh yeah, no, I can't defend you anymore. But I was like, okay, if you bought the $100 one, you at least get the cool Captain America statue. I was like, but.
No, the digital version was $10 more, and it got me a few extra skins, which I don't even use.
Hell yeah.
Shame.
And then it got me early access.
Shame.
I'm trying to think of the last game that I bought full price. I don't think I've bought a game full price in years, man.
Oh, it's PC Gamer. We don't have to pay full price.
No. Guess what? The Avengers game, I didn't pay a dime for, thanks to Microsoft Rewards.
If that's how you make it okay with yourself between...
Let's talk about our sponsor right now. Anytime you want to search for anything, use Bing and get Microsoft Rewards. No, I'm just kidding.
I know Jake's on my side. If he listens to this,
I'm sure.
Like,
I'm sure.
Yeah, Jake does the rewards every day, too.
Be sure to use code RESETGAMER to get an error message.
It's no different than all the maintenance work I do on Gears Pop every day. That game's more of a
They're shutting it down.
Rest in peace. Okay, how does that make you feel when we invest so much time in the game and then all of a sudden the devs are just like, or the owners of the game are just like, no, we're shutting it down. Sorry.
I know it kind of sucks because there's achievements on there as like, wow, I'll be like, these will be crazy rare achievements because no one's playing this game nearly as much as I am. And then now they're going to close it down. And it kind of sucks because all those achievements are kind of lost. I mean,
they're gone.
You're not going to be able to get them ever. Yeah.
It's like when people would go for trophies or achievements and they have the online trophies. The online.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing. That is one, I don't go for trophies anymore or achievements that much, but I'm glad that most games don't do that anymore because, man, once they shut the servers down, that is it. And someone who used to have like really bad OCD sometimes, I would look on like server, like the list of trophies, which is another reason why I don't do it anymore. because I would look at the list of trophies and I know that there's like 1 or 2 games where I'm at 99%, but it's because of a trophy that I had to get online that you can't anymore because they shut the servers down.
I think the real egregious ones are like I've been playing a lot of Rock Band recently, like a whole lot of Rock Band. And for Rock Band 3, they have at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 achievements tied to playing downloaded songs.
Oof.
And I don't think they have any free downloadable songs anymore. So
can you still buy the songs for that game?
Oh yeah, oh totally. They still have the Rock Band music store up on the 360. I don't know about the PS3, but it's still
Rock Band is who is it?
Harmonix.
Harmonix?
They just released Fuser.
Oh
which
yeah,
I'm excited about.
Fuser's the one that right now, as of this recording, that they're like muting on Twitch or something like that.
Yeah, because it's nothing but copyrighted music.
Right.
So that's got a bit of an uphill battle.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you're playing Rock Band?
Oh, I'm playing an ass ton of Rock Band. I'm playing so much fucking Rock Band. That shit's great.
What instrument are you playing?
I've been getting into the drums. I can play medium drums on some songs now.
Nice.
I can play hard guitar on some songs.
Nice.
And I can't sing for shit on any of them. I do have the keyboard though. So for Rock Band 3, I can play the keyboard and I suck shit at that.
There's a keyboard for it?
Oh yeah. Rock Band 3 came with a keyboard, my friend.
Didn't even know that.
Came with a keyboard. It's got Imagine by John Lennon on there. It's got Bohemian Rhapsody. They've got, what the fuck else? They got the Doors on there, so you can play some organ. You know, you can fucking yeah, you can. Oh yeah.
Did not know that. But then I was never really that much. I mean, I had a Guitar Hero, guitar. I had the one that they tried to do the fret tapping on it with the little sensor.
Oh yeah, the Guitar
Hero, the World Tour one. I think that was the one.
That garbage looking thing. Yeah, I've got the old fashioned. I got the Guitar Hero 3 Les Paul guitar, and I've got. It's worth a bit of money. Rock Band itself, like as a package, is worth far too much money. Like I spent $500 all told between everything to play this again. I had to buy a 360. I had to buy an HDMI switcher. I had to buy another power strip. Then I had to buy everything Rock Band. Then I bought the DJ Hero stuff. Like, it's just a problem.
I would say something, but like I told you, I spend a lot of money on Team Fortress 2 and Apex. So we all have our thing. As long as you're enjoying it, that's really all that matters.
I'm getting great customer support. The guitar stopped working for a little bit right after.
Awesome.
And the dude's like, I'll send you a new piece for free.
Justin, what do you think was the biggest innovation that they did in this past generation of games? Consoles.
Biggest innovation.
Or systems, whatever you wanted to say. Yeah, biggest innovation.
That isn't crossplay.
I can't keep saying crossplay for every single one of these questions.
Biggest innovation.
You're really going to make me think of something new?
I guess I would say, I know I've kind of mentioned it before, but Microsoft really upped their game with their controllers. I mean, they changed their controllers like throughout this generation. They altered the joysticks and the grips on them. And yeah, I mean, controller wise, that's the best thing you can innovate on during a generation. I think it should be done more.
It's a DualSense, baby.
Wow, once again, I don't know what the DualSense is. So what's that like, Carlos? The DualSense.
The DualSense? It's okay. I mean, well, everybody's going crazy for the DualSense right now because everybody's like, oh man, the haptic feedback and all this other stuff like that. It's cool. It's a good controller. It is a good controller. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that it's bad or anything like that. It has a different feel than the DualShock 4, which is what I was used to for the PlayStation. Like after the DualShock 3, I got the 4 and I was like, oh yeah, this is way better. This is way better. Now that I'm holding the DualSense, I mean, all features aside, just by feel in my hands, I don't know. It doesn't feel, obviously it doesn't feel the same because it's not the same controller, but I'm just not used to it so far. Maybe because I'm so used to the DualShock 4, but, motion controls I was never a big fan of. because I was always moving the controller like in a really weird, awkward way. But I mean, the touchpad is still there from the DualShock 4, and Astro's Playroom or whatever it's called on the PS4 that comes pre-installed on the PlayStation 4 systems. It really is the best thing because it's just one big tech demo for it, and it'll show you a lot of the motion, a lot of the haptic feedback, the triggers that everybody's going all crazy for, that kind of not jam up, but give like a little bit of resistance, so that way
it can bring a little bit of pop to it.
Right, exactly, one like that. So, but you know what? Actually, I actually turned it off because,
really?
Yeah, because like in games like Call of Duty where I'm going to be playing multiplayer, I don't want that happening. I kind of figured like if I'm playing multiplayer, I don't want it to be. I don't want my gun to jam up or anything like that.
Absolutely, I could see that. Like I was watching.
I'm sorry, not the gun. I don't want the triggers to be jamming up when I'm trying to shoot somebody in multiplayer.
Yeah, basically. Absolutely. I was watching someone do a DualSense demonstration for Black Ops Cold War, and it seems like there's about a halfway point for most of the guns where it's got this throw, and then once you hit the halfway point, that's when it clicks, and that's when you can start to actually like shoot the gun. It's not this instantaneous pull the trigger and it's in. It's half a trigger pull of nothing, and then you can throw the trigger down. Right.
But the bottom parts of where you put your hands on the controller, it feels like a little bit like they shaved off a little bit too much.
I was gonna say, you have bigger hands, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember them saying they had made it like 12% smaller, 18% more compact. There's these weird statistics about the controller.
Right. So it doesn't have as much grip on the back part of it where you put your hands, which I was a fan of on the DualShock 4, which I'm holding in my hand right now, which is kind of close to what they did with the Xbox controller. So I'm kind of missing that. I feel like it's a little bit too smooth, but it's a good controller. Don't get me wrong. It's a good controller. I mean, I still have yet to really, really get into a lot of the other features that it has, but it's a good controller. Caleb, what do you think was the biggest innovation?
Well, since I took crossplay off the list,
yes,
I had to think of the biggest gaming innovation. I think it might be the more close. I don't know how to describe this properly, but the melding of the PC and the console ecosystem aside from crossplay, just the general way that both of the systems seem to work almost intuitively the same way at this point.
Mm-hmm.
At least for games, especially with Game Pass and how that works on PC. It's as simple as it is on the Xbox, where you just go to the game page, hit the button, it downloads, and then you can just click it in your start menu and it launches. There is no need to launch anything. There's no need to update anything, which is both a detriment and a good thing. I've been sitting in a Master Chief Collection lobby looking for a match for 10 minutes before I'm like, oh yeah, I need to update the game. So it's a bit of a detriment, but it's also an incredible innovation, I'd say, because it allows for much easier, obviously cross-platform play and also cross-platform development. So you see things like No Man's Sky that got VR support on PS4, getting VR support on PC as well.
I was actually very surprised. None of you guys said like VR.
Yeah, I guess so. Fuck, huh?
Yeah, I mean, because it really seemed, especially with PlayStation and with PC, like they were really trying to push VR. I mean, hell, we got a brand new Half-Life game for the first time in 12 years or something like that, and it was 13, 12, 15 years or something like that, and it was a VR game because they wanted to push VR.
You know what? They did it. Proud of them.
And they did it. Yeah. They did it. But the funny thing is, I feel like nobody talks about that game anymore.
No, it came and went in about 2 months.
Because of the fact that it was on VR, I think.
Yep.
It also didn't help that Steam put it on a VR system that costs about $1,000.
But you can play it on anything, though.
But still, $1,000 just for the entry fee. And the other thing is
expensive.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like after you play Half-Life, Alex, what else are you going to play?
Boneworks, VR chat, go find Handybot.
I mean, because it was also the same thing. I think it was the same thing with PlayStation VR. I mean, it got an initial push. They got a bunch of games that came out,
the heist,
and were supported, but I don't see a lot of like a lot of support for it anymore. I mean, I know that they just recently released a adapter so that way you could play your PSVR on your PlayStation 5 that they were actually giving away for free. But I mean, I haven't really seen them really. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I haven't seen any of the PlayStation news lately, but I haven't seen anything lately that says like, oh yeah, this is the next big thing coming, from VR on PlayStation. I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. I haven't seen any of the news or anything like that.
I feel like the last big thing was Dreams.
That's right. That was on there. And I really don't hear anybody talking about that game either.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
That was made by Media Molecule, right?
Yeah, that's the next Media Molecule Media Molecule project.
I think one of the best things for innovation that happened this past gen was the Xbox adaptive controller.
Oh, absolutely. Bringing gaming to far more people.
Yes. I think it's so great that Microsoft and I think it was Logitech or somebody that helped them with it. That they went.
Yeah, I believe so.
That they went and they created the adaptive controller that helps, people with disabilities be able to play games and be able to play, more games openly on systems so that way they don't feel like they're left out or anything like that. And I just think that was such a great thing that they did. When I saw the announcement for it, I was like, yes, more yes, because once again, I'm all for everybody playing together, and if that's something that and since that's something that they did, I just thought like this is fantastic. That's a great thing that they did.
Absolutely. I kind of just want to get one to tinker around with it, see what you can do.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that too. I was like, I wonder if I could get one of those just so I could, or if not, if I could just go somewhere so I could just try it out or just see somebody using it.
Like,
I think it would. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna sound like a real asshole, but like, I kind of want to get one of those cool pedal triggers, like the cool pedal triggers that they have for accessibility for disabled people. Put it on the ground and like hook it up to the right trigger button for Forza. Just like have an actual pedal or something. Like that would be so fucking cool. Just
at
weird
that
shit
point,
like
you should just get one of the Logitech driving
setups.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
So
instead of taking away an accessibility controller from someone
no,
not
just that. Not just that. I'm just saying it's like if you want to do something like that, it just might as well just buy the game and just buy the racing setup. It's better for that, anyways. But
thought about in my later years when I'm rich about getting one of those big like hydraulic supported.
When you really start making that YouTube money.
Yeah, those big hydraulic supported 10 screen surround.
You want that Scorpion looking PC setup.
Hell thing? Hell yeah, brother. Let's go.
I know. So, Justin, your biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment? Borderlands 3.
Ooh, that's gotta sting for him to admit that. Why?
The Vault. I mean, being a huge Borderlands fan, but Borderlands 3, I think all the Vault Hunters suck. The campaign was okay. I played through it to completion. I bought of course, the $90 version. I have all that DLC I've yet to freaking touch.
Wow.
I think the Vault Hunters were not good. And then when they said they weren't going to add new Vault Hunters, I was like, oh, really? Well, no, we're going to add another extra skill tree. And I'm like, oh, good. An extra skill tree on 4 Vault Hunters that suck.
That's how development works, baby. It's the live service game. You got to trickle in the little bits.
Well, it's kind of a half-ass live service game. It actually should have been, but it's kind of a half-ass. Like they were so worried about balancing because a couple of the characters were like pretty damn broken with the right build. And I mean, that's what a Borderlands game is. You figure out a build and you find out you're badass with it. But they keep freaking trying to, balance things out. And that's not what we want from a Borderlands game. If you're going to balance this stuff out, then you make it an online game where we can play with other people and then that matters. But when it's, when it's people versus AI, why does it matter if there's a build that really works well?
Yeah, that seems like one of those pedantic, like, we learned some balancing lessons from Battleborn, so we're going to apply them to Borderlands, like that kind of shit.
Yeah, I downloaded the update for the Series X version. I launched it, but that's the other weird thing that I don't understand is I downloaded the update, launched into it, and I was like, well, I'll join a game and see where they're at. So I went and joined a game, and this is no kidding. Even months ago, I'd go into matchmaking, and for some reason, people like to leave their lobby open to where they're at their home, the home base and the ship. And then they're sitting in a menu doing nothing. So the people who join your game, you can't move, you can't leave the ship. You're just stuck there. So I don't know if that's just some people who are like, oh, this is a big fuck you. You joined my game and then now you can't leave anywhere because I'm in a menu.
Yeah, that sounds shitty.
Yeah, I don't get that. And that's exactly what happened to me. I launched it and and someone's ship, they got a menu open, so I can't even fast travel them anywhere just to check things out. But yeah, that was by far my biggest
disappointment. Damn, that sucks. I know you're so hyped for that game, and I know that like you're so ready for another.
Yep, I took the day off. I beat it in a day and a half. I was, you're chasing that carrot, hoping something might change. And yeah,
Kaleb, what's your biggest disappointment?
The lack of a Titanfall 3.
Good man.
Honestly, like that might honestly be it, because I didn't really play too many other console games during this generation aside from Destiny. And Destiny turned into Destiny 2, which has turned into a good enough experience that I'm not disappointed with it per se. So I guess I'd have to say, yeah, a real lack of a good Titanfall 3. We've had enough time. There's been more than enough money poured into Respawn at this point, and I guess just enough people didn't play it, didn't buy it. I don't know, but it kills me. It kills me every day to know that Apex Legends lives on and Titanfall died.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, there's a rumor saying that they're maybe developing Titanfall 3. I don't know if that's true or not. I kind of wish that I hope it's true.
I'd fucking love next gen Titanfall. Oh my God.
I would absolutely love a Titanfall 3. Because, man, Titanfall 2, everybody agreed was like one of the best games that not really a lot of people played.
Oh yeah. When I was playing it, there was like 4,000 people online on the Xbox at peak hours. That's it.
Right. And it was just like, oh man, I love Titanfall. I mean, I really thought like Titanfall 2 especially was going to be like, oh man, everybody's so caught up in COD. I was like, this is like this is the next step. Like this, this is the next thing.
This is the evolution.
Exactly. Like this is the next thing, man. Not only do we have fucking, team deathmatch or whatever it is like that, from the people that made Call of Duty, the good Call of Duty games, but you also have fucking robots and parkour and, weapons that, gameplay that just felt so good. Shooting that felt so good.
And you have all these like MOBA-like elements also involved. So there's some strategy you're not just facing pilots and titans, you're also facing these grunts that I've won games just simply by having like 80 grunt kills, like in a team deathmatch, like just focusing on killing grunts the whole game.
It's so cool. For me, it was so cool wall running while my Titan is following me and I'm rodeoing another Titan.
And then your Titan's fighting that Titan while you're on the back.
And at the same time, my fucking Titan is fighting that Titan. And I'm just like, I was out, when that game first came out, I was already a big fan of the first Titanfall game. So when Titanfall 2 came out, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like, how can you not like this? And just nobody played it. Just nobody. People played it, once again at the beginning. And then I just saw people just like, nope, gonna go back to Call of Duty. Now, I think my biggest disappointment of last gen was just the fact that we had so many games being released that just weren't running well, that just were not running optimized. I thoroughly believe that, the Xbox One and the PS4 towards the end of the life cycle, if you didn't have an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro, your games, your system just could barely run it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? You know,
I remember seeing Kingdom Hearts 3 running on a base Xbox One, and it looked grody.
It's so terrible. It was so terrible. And then, you would see videos of, games running on the PlayStation 4 only running at 1080p, barely at 30 frames a second. Xbox One, they're running at 900p or 720p or less.
Yep.
Barely hitting like 20 frames a second on most games. And it's just like, I looked at them and I was just like, no, man, these systems can't support these games anymore. They can't run these games. They can't play these games anymore.
My computer was more powerful than the Xbox One when it came out, and I had a budget computer.
Right.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, and it was just that thing. I kept seeing so many games just like, oh, we're gonna release a patch. Hopefully it'll run better. I can't tell you how many people I heard, say, oh man, my PlayStation 4 sounds like it's about to take off, from the shelf. The fans are going like so hardcore. It sounded pretty much like an airplane, like a jet plane getting ready to take off.
Yeah, apparently God of War was sending some people's PlayStation 4s into the stratosphere.
Right. So I think for me that was just my biggest disappointment. And there are a lot more disappointments. Absolutely. The cancellation of a lot of games that I wanted to see. A lot of the controversies that happened. But, for me, one of the biggest disappointments was just that. I saw the games being made and I'm just like, no, this hardware can't play them anymore. No, you can't. No, like these systems can't play these games. They've already, the games being made are like, you have to have the new hardware, basically. You have to have a Series X or an S or a PS5 just to see how they're made. They were made to be played.
Yeah, I would love to see like a patch for Halo 5 to get rid of the 30 frames per second distance animations and the way that they do LOD scaling and the dynamic resolution and things of that nature, like to have a fixed 4K, like things like that. Just because just little artifacts of the way that the CPU was really underpowered right at the beginning of the generation really trickled down through the whole entire next 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, you can still see it. I mean, like I said, I like playing Warzone, Halo 5 Warzone, and I can still see it like in the background, even though I'm playing on a Series X, but I can still see it running in the background, and it's just like, it's just the way the game was, and it was made. I'm hoping that they go and they release a patch, but at this point, I'm sure 343 has their hands full just trying to get Infinite.
Oh my god,
working on that.
Talk about Infinite.
So yeah, that's going to be a bigger disappointment for the next time we do this for the next generation.
Absolutely.
So, but let's talk games. Let's talk about some games. Justin, give me some of your favorite games of the past generation.
Overwatch.
Skip.
Just Cause. Both Just Cause games were really good this generation.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Love Just Cause this gen. God, I'm trying to think what else.
What about you, Caleb? You can, come on, just shoot them all out.
Titanfall 2.
Yeah, good man.
Jumping around.
Titanfall 1.
Good man.
The first month of Apex Legends being out.
No, that was not good. That was rough. That was super rough.
That was the best.
Avengers game was good.
But is that one of your favorite games of the generation?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, favorite games of the generation. Xbox One, PS4.
Sunset Overdrive.
I will agree with
that is a great game.
That game tricked me into doing platforming.
That is a great game. Once again, another great game that nobody played.
Such a good game. Such a good game.
You know what? I'm going to say the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Oh, yeah. I'm 4 hours into that.
That is so good.
And I stopped.
I'm not biased because that is one of my favorite games ever. The original Resident Evil 2, because it is. But that remake, if you're ever going to do a remake of a game, that is the one you got to hold the standard to.
Yeah,
that
that's
one was so incredible. Good.
Looks good, sounds fantastic.
The sound
plays great.
Is so fantastic on that game. I remember I bought it and I installed it. I pre-installed it on my computer because I wanted to play it on my PC. Man, I put a set of headphones on that thing when I was playing for it, and the sound is so good. You can hear the zombies at a distance, and that whole game was just fantastic. That game was just so fantastic. I don't mind replaying that game over and over and over again because I just love that game. That was so good.
Let me look through my Steam library here. What are some hot bangers of the past 7 years?
Yeah, Justin, you got any more?
Well, I recently started getting back into Defense Grid. Been playing a lot of that.
Really?
That's a good game.
Tower defense game.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what spurred me on to that. I just been playing it more recently. Trying to think what games to go back to.
Destiny 2. I love Destiny 2. Risk of Rain 2. Fantastic game.
Destiny 2 is good. I give it flack, but I like it. I mean, I spent a whole bunch of time on it.
For the first 100 hours, it's incredible.
I think I spent like 500 hours on the Steam version, and that's not even counting all the time I spent on it on PS4.
Well, I'd say the only PS4 game I think I played through this generation was probably Until Dawn, and I played with that. Played with me and the wife. We had a lot of fun playing that.
That's a good game. Until Dawn.
I've only seen playthroughs of that, but it seems like a lot of fun.
Interactive movies, fantastic. It's kind of like the Dragon's Lair thing, right?
Kinda. Yeah. I mean, you make decisions too. You know, Dragon's Lair was more you have to do it a certain way or you die. You know,
that's true. No. Yeah. No, you're right.
I've got a dark horse for y'all that I don't think either of you have played. Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah,
I have played that.
I played that.
Love Dead by Daylight. Yeah. I don't play it often, but when I do, I'll play like 7 hours straight.
That's a good game to get a bunch of friends together and just play that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Doom, Bloodborne.
I
gotta give it up for Bloodborne. I really like Bloodborne. I love the Souls games on PS4.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see if they put out a Bloodborne patch.
Yeah, you know what? I actually reloaded that on my PS5, and that game still runs rough.
Oh yeah,
still rough. I was really hoping for a patch to at least get it running at 60 frames, and no, that game is still. But you know what? When I initially played it, that game is so good. I love the Souls games. I was actually gonna say Dark Souls, but I saw that it was released actually the generation before.
Yeah, like 2011.
So, yeah, 2011. Yeah, I could have said Dark Souls Remastered because that
counts.
Yeah, I'll go and say that then. Dark Souls Remastered. I actually just recently replayed that this year. Yeah, earlier this year.
Yeah, I definitely say that counts.
Yeah, that's a great game. That's another great game.
I almost just said Portal 2 for some reason. Portal 2 came out in like 2010.
Man, that's the last time Valve released a game besides Half-Life Alyx, right?
That's a good question.
No. They released that card game, right?
Oh yeah, Artifact. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The less we talk about that,
God.
the better.
Now you made me do a flashback to the Borderlands 3 card game.
I got one for y'all.
Jesus.
Super hot.
That's a good one.
Super hot.
Super.
Oh, how about Super Seducer?
I've heard that name. I don't know what that is though.
Yeah, that's basically what my PC gaming rig's all used for is games that'll never be released on console.
Hey, that's a legitimate way to play, man. I mean, I don't know if Phasmophobia or Among Us is ever going to be.
Oh yeah, it's a freaking FMV game where you pick up chicks from this guy who's supposedly a sex expert.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Yep.
Yeah. I've bought in 1 and 2, and yeah, they are
interesting.
A blast. What's super funny is the Super Seducer, the first one, was released on PlayStation for I think like 7 hours.
Huh.
So somehow it made it through all whatever checks Sony does, and then was on the store, and then people were playing this game where like, holy fuck. Sony was like, get it off. So there's a few lucky few who have that on their PlayStations.
Oh, what else? I'm kind of running out of games on here. I didn't play many games that came out this generation.
You're not going to say like no Rainbow Six Siege, nothing like that?
I really, really like Rainbow Six Siege, but I don't know if it's one of my favorite games of this generation. It's a real problem. I have such an up and down relationship with that game. Or when it's hot, that game is incredible. But when you have a couple matches in a row full of just people just barking orders down your throat and getting mad at you because you missed somebody's flank that you didn't even know existed because you only have 75 hours in the game compared to that dude who killed you that has 7,500 hours. Like it's such a back and forth that I love it, but I also hate it. So I'm really torn on saying it's one of my favorite games. It's one of my favorite experiences, but I don't know if it's one of my favorite games. Like if you can just experience a couple hours of Siege, it's incredible. It's incredible.
All right. Then just say that. Like some of the games that you know to have been fantastic in the generation of video games.
I like Hearthstone a lot. I still like Hearthstone. It's got its problems, but it still got me.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh no, I ain't touched that shit.
You haven't played that?
Nah.
No.
Wow.
It's a very impressive looking game, but I mean, much to the complaints that everyone had when it came out, it's just that the game moves so slow, which is understandable. It's the Old West. You're not driving 90 miles an hour in a car around everywhere, but yeah, it kind of drug on for me. I did more just flat out exploring than I did the actual story. So I know the map pretty well, but I never did finish the story.
You know what?
Sorry, continue.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Caleb.
One of the things I meant to put in for, I guess, innovations/trends that this just reminded me of was backwards compatibility on the Microsoft side.
How did I forget that?
Because I went back and I played Red Dead Redemption 1 when they put it on backwards compatibility. That game is not as good as you people remember it being.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with that because you know what? I was one of those very vocal people that I was just like, I don't get it, man. I don't like Red Dead Redemption. You know, it's a bunch of nothing. It's a bunch of riding a horse through nothing.
I
didn't get it.
It's a lot of riding your horse through nothing. The controls feel kind of shitty.
Yeah, it has that weird Grand Theft Auto controls where the characters move awkwardly. You know what? I was one of those people that I didn't like it. I played Red Dead Redemption 2. I bought it at launch and I was just like, I don't know. And I was like, I'm going to try it. I actually love that game. That game was fantastic. I really did enjoy it.
Beautiful. And
it is.
The gameplay systems seem very involved. It just seems like there's too much going on for its own good.
I played it and I had kind of like that aha moment where I've explained to people like who once again, I love the Dark Souls games and I know that they're games that not everybody likes. And I didn't like them at the beginning until I kind of had this aha moment where I'm playing it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, aha, I get the combat now. I understand the way this game is structured. I understand the way this game is being played, and yes, I get a super big thrill out of it. I had that same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, I did not like the first game at all. I thought the first game was boring. I didn't like the story, the characters, nothing, whatever. Even though everybody kept saying it was game of the year, fantastic game, whatever it is like that. I did not like it. I played Red Dead Redemption 2, played the story all the way, and when I finally got to the twist and the ending of the game, I was like, man, this was fantastic. Like, this game was awesome. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, as someone who looked up the ending for that game, it seems like they did a really good job wrapping up the story in that series. At least to where it's at so far. I'll say
and
that.
There's so many other good games. The Witcher 3 was released.
Oh yeah,
that's a great game. Yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Man, I love that game.
Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild. Shit.
Yeah,
totally forgot about the Switch.
As somebody who loved. Oh yeah, we haven't even been talking about the Switch. That's the main thing I forgot about. Yeah, man. As somebody who grew up with the original Nintendo, The Legend of Zelda on NES is one of my favorite games of all time. So when I play Breath of the Wild and just walking around Hyrule, I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly how I imagine the game to be in my mind. Like, I think I probably put like over 120 hours of that game, and probably like 60 of it was just me just walking around in awe of the map, just looking at it, just like, oh my God, it's this part, it's this from this game. And that game has so many Easter eggs as it is.
Oh, so many. Just the springs with the dragons and the Satori Mountain and just the lightning field. There's just so much. There's so much in that game. Like, that might be that and Titanfall 2 are like my games of the generation. I can't believe I forgot about Breath of the Wild. But yeah, no, that is hands down one of my favorite games of this generation.
Yeah. Justin, you got any more?
No, I can't think of it anymore.
No Overwatch?
I mean, I love Overwatch to death.
I mean, I can name off some games if you guys want. I mean, we got Control, we got the Super Smash Brothers, we got I know. Horizon Zero Dawn, Destiny 2. I'm trying to think of some other games.
Okay, I did think of something. Well, I mean, this is kind of a big one, I think. Well, considering all the drama it went through just to get completed, and that was the final season of The Walking Dead.
Wow, yeah, that's.
Wait, is that shit over?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took just to get the last little bit of Clementine's story. Man, that game went through hell.
Oh, that Walking Dead. I thought you were talking about the show. I'm like, that's over?
No, the game series. Well, actually, you finish up this last season of Clementine. They tease another season yet.
Thanks. Spoilers.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't think it's much of a spoiler, because that thing barely got made to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they'll actually get another season of that game.
I don't think it's sold enough, because I picked it up on a sale when it was $8. So
damn.
I mean, other games that came out was The Last of Us Part 2.
Ain't touched it.
I haven't played that game. I was not really a fan of the first game, but a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, I did. Never touched the second one.
That's the Marvel Spider-Man game for PS4 was actually really good.
It looks interesting. If I had a PS5, if I was going to get one, I'd be interested in picking up that remastered version.
Yeah, that would probably be the better one to play at this point. But that was a really good game. So
just not a huge Spider-Man fan, so it never really appealed to me.
I don't know. You guys think of any more games? I mean, I'm sure there's like a ton of games that we're forgetting at this point, but
nothing I can really think of.
Oh, I see a game I want to play.
Which one?
It's our ritualistic, I guess, we're winding down moment.
Okay, so yeah, we should probably wrap up this show already. How did I used to do the outro?
Who knows, man? We'll just wing it. Fuck it, man.
I mean, we really can't, promote the site anymore because the site's not here.
Come on over to.
How about this, Justin? How can they get a hold of you?
They can't. I'm off all social media.
That's the best answer you could have ever said.
Yeah, that's great. I love to hear that.
He is on Xbox, ladies and gentlemen. If you can find him, he might play a game with you or block you.
Oh, yeah. I'm Titanic on Xbox, but I can't remember the 5-digit number after my name, so.
That's all one word, ladies and gentlemen. Titanic. I can't remember the 5-letter digit, whatever it is. The hell he says with that. Caleb, how can they get a hold of you?
You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/I'm ready. That's ready with an I, not a Y. Same thing with Twitch. I'm ready. Find me on Twitter. I'm ready. Are you? Same thing with Instagram. And I think SoundCloud is just ready. I think SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/ready. Yeah. How about you, Carlos? Where can we find you? Man on the web.
You can find me on Twitter at HardRockingGuy. And that's really about it. I don't stream on Twitch. I don't stream on YouTube. Even though I have a complete streaming setup here, I don't stream anywhere. I don't do anything like that. You can find me there. That's kind of pretty much it.
Well then, I feel like this has been a fun, eventful return to form.
Yeah.
A bit awkward.
Yeah. And we gotta get our sea legs back. We're stretching
like having sex again, you just can't hop on the bike.
And we've gotten awkward already. But you know what? They didn't bring up my cherry crush.
I got more. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I know he's got more.
Look at her. She's wearing doe ears in this one.
Here's something I haven't said in a long time, Caleb.
Yeah.
Can you play the outro music?
Of course.